The S&P 500 and the Nasdaq 100. Now, Twitter today, I was really hammering home this previous all-time high and how you basically had been mounting this and really sitting in a range over the past basically 3 weeks, give or take, going back into September 18th till now. And you can see that we were just sitting here and now we're breaking out clearly new all-time highs here on the S&P. You go into ES futures, you see that as well, breaking over that 58.30, really getting continuation there as well, and ending the day above that level as well. Just further sign of continuation. Now, it's important to note tomorrow morning you do have CPI at 7:30 a.m. Central, so beware of that. But as I look at this and as I look at the action overall, like, you got to be excited with how this is playing out. Clear higher lows established. I'm looking for continuation going into tomorrow, right? QQQ as well, another big level we talked a lot about on Twitter. Again, if you're not following on Twitter, you're doing yourself a disservice, right? So I told everyone about this. Back here, your illiquid zone, getting back into illiquid zone could look explosive, looking for 494 soon. So again, when we look at this chart, not a big surprise, but again, we're getting a little bit rejected off that level. Now we go a little bit deeper. We look at semiconductors as well, which are pushing back into those local highs way back at September 26, which is our key level as well of 255.9, that little swing high level here as well. If we start to break above 256, you really have a lot of room to run, in 260 and really into that 271 major level up there, but 264 being the first level, I'd probably be watching there as well. But this thing could really start moving. So when you're looking at SMH semiconductors, which has been one of the biggest catalysts on the market, like AVGO, right? It doesn't get enough love, but it's your second biggest semiconductor company out there. AVGO erupting, NVIDIA breaking out of its pennant. We've been talking a lot about pushing into 134. AMD rallying back from lows of 134 on September 10th to, highs today from 174. ARM, a name we've been mentioning a lot here as well, rallying back, trying to break out, which again, ARM above 149, this thing's going to explode. So I can go on and on about what's really moving this market. But again, it's the same things time and time again here, right? It's if SMH gets a continuation, Nasdaq continues to move. And you also have Dow and, now the SPY helping you a lot, breaking back into those highs as well. So again, what we're looking at. Now, important to know, we have CPI coming out bright and early tomorrow. Okay, understand that. And again, CPI has been on the downturn, but I'm going to continue to say this as of right now. This is very important going into this data pool. We had Fed minutes today, and again, Fed minutes cited that they came into 0.5 cut and they're looking for that 0.25. Nothing's really changed there. We need data to come in line, because if it doesn't, you could see a little bit of a pause potentially going into the next meeting, and you could see the tide kind of turn on that metric as well. So again, what we're looking at is tomorrow, the biggest thing, 7:30, bright and early in the morning. Okay, we should also be live here on the channel at 7:30 a.m. as well, so make sure you're tuning in. But again, that's where we're at here on ES and how we're kind of performing here. And as you can see, you ended the day very strong. So broad market, looking at futures, looking at what's happening with Nasdaq, the Dow, ES, it looks like all signs of continuation as long as data doesn't screw us. Okay, now I'm going to go more into stocks I'm liking as well. But before we do that, we have to go into yields and what's happening here. Okay, 30-year yields still tracking to the upside. 10-year yields tracking to the upside. Not ideal. So again, I think data is very big here, as well as putting us back on the side of cuts, which is ultimately what we want and need to see in the short term and in the long term, right? So DXY as well, bouncing to that upside also. But levels you need to be watching into tomorrow. Now, number one, on the upside here for Nasdaq, I'm looking for 20,502. I want to be very clear about that. That's your number one level coming into this. And then after that, you're really looking into around 20,600, give or take right here. And then after that, I mean, dude, you're churning, you're moving back into all-time highs. And it's going to happen quick when we start getting above these key levels up here. So it was nice. Got the breakouts, what we've been looking for as well. ES, it's very simple here. No reason to overcomplicate this, okay? Going into like the 2 hour, you can really see above 58.30, your previous all-time high. You are bullish. You're looking for continuation. There's no clear-cut target because we're going into areas we never haven't been. So again, what we're looking at there. Now, stock-wise, what are we looking at? I think SMCI is my favorite name on the board for downside. So let's run into this. We'll go some downside names and then upside names. Now, just because I'm looking at downside doesn't mean I'm going to trade them. Understand that. If the market comes out bullish, I'm going to favor trading calls over puts. Understand that. So you're looking at your previous low here. Again, that's turned into support and resistance. You can see the rejections here, and you can also see the rejections currently happening here. You're looking for a downside push off of that, hopefully getting us back down to 145.7, and you're pretty illiquid all the way back down to $44 overall. So again, what I'm watching for there. Amazon's been pretty weak. But again, you could start seeing this name pop back up and get back into your 188.67 level, which is your previous all-time high from 2021. So again, massive level there. Looking, that seems like a magnet, just to give you a food for thought and what to be looking at that area as well. Understand that. Now, I'm not obviously day trading NVIDIA here. Jordan's been killing it day trading NVIDIA. In Discord, we've been absolutely murdering it. You know, past two days, I've only traded 2 stocks on today, and I didn't even take a trade yesterday. I just took what Jordan's NVIDIA trade, right? So I traded ARM this morning into 148. That was our first trade. And then the second trade was Costco into 910 before their earnings today. You look good getting a breakout, but again, in NVIDIA, the big trade here on NVIDIA, I've been very clear about it. It's dated, long dated calls. That's the big money trade here. So you can ride through all-time highs. I think you're going to make your way towards those highs. ARM, another one of my favorite names here. Although I day traded today, I'm still looking at more upside. Above 149, this can push into 154 with ease. I've been telling you guys it's a very good mover. It moves very quick, very solid, pretty liquid as well. So again, over 49, 149, 154 is what we're looking at. AMD, I'm less interested here. You have your targets 174.7. Until then, can't do nothing. AVGO, we talked a lot about this, and I mentioned the little head and shoulders you had way back as well, but you know, it's a little late for all that now. But now you're back at all-time highs. You look very good. As long as you remain above 185.11, you look very bullish. So you look amazing above this level, pushing into all-time highs. Price discovery looks very strong. And that's what's really carrying semiconductors here, right? So make sure you understand that. Microsoft, we traded to the downside not too long ago, but guess what? The tide has turned. If Microsoft remains and you're getting that 200 SMA touch right now, it could be stock of the day into tomorrow, as long as you stay above the 200 SMA. And right now you are holding that level. This is what you want to see. In the after hours, I don't really care. During market hours, this is ideal. You like to see that break and that retest, obviously, as you can see here. Right now, break, retest, and continuation, ideally, right? And getting that, you could push into 423, 424 in a hurry. A lot of liquidity as well there. Netflix, one of my favorite names. I mentioned it yesterday. You just didn't get the action here today. Again, you're getting the break of all-time highs and kind of mounting over 725. You have earnings next week, so be careful, but this could start pushing into 740, 750 in a hurry. Definitely one of the strongest names in the broad market, and you need to be watching it. Like, you got to be watching this name. It's an absolute tank right now. Going a little bit further, Tesla, big event tomorrow, Tesla Robotaxi. Look, I'm not trading this into the event. Be careful. If you get downside looking for 236, under 236, this could start free falling down to 226. Be careful. I would not be trading this into the Tesla event. You can clearly see sellers are holding you, making lower highs continually here. I'd be very careful here. I'm going to tell you right now. But again, trade safe. Not trading Tesla. I'm letting you know that right now. Apple, you're trying to break back to the upside. You've, again, held 224. You had the downside trade, but you got back above 224. Looking for 232. Over 232, you're looking for all-time high breaks, pushing back to the upside. So, again, has been a monster up here. You can actually see a more exact level right there, around 232.8. Above that level, you know, it's a really nice long into all-time highs. Meta has kind of hit the brakes on us, but Meta might just be getting some of that consolidation that you really like to see. So, again, you had that break, the retest. I mean, you're really just holding this previous high here. So you're looking to get that break back to the upside. Ideally here, what you're seeing is a sort of double bottom kind of playing out here, hopefully, and then get that break of that neckline there. So you start to break back above 594. You're looking to go long into all-time highs, back into the 600s, maybe even further. But again, as long as you're above this level here, 583, you have to be bullish. Understand that. Below that, I could see sellers pushing us down in a hurry, at least to 577, and maybe into these lows down here of 570 as well. So again, keep that on your radar. Decent looking name, very liquid also. You're noticing going after big names, the liquid names, that's where you want to make your money, your bread and your butter. Okay. A lot of people have been asking about PLTR. Again, PLTR, guys, if you like these names long-term, buy, hold, and forget them. Like, I'm not trading options on PLTR at all-time highs, hyperinflated as far as options. Not doing it. CrowdStrike, been talking a lot about this one. Came back into 285. Came back into all your levels, to be quite honest. So you have your big level back here. So let's go over this really quick so you can see that. So really quickly, you came into your previous little high that you had back here on that, you gapped down, pulled back up, came back down, rejected, support, and obviously came back in here again. So that's a good sign. Then again, you make a higher high back off this and you bounce back up off the previous high there, off that 285 level we've been mentioning. I've been looking for CrowdStrike to come into 305, 306. Costco had earnings today. You're not really doing too much. Again, looks decent. Above 910, you look awesome. Above 896, big fan there. Sorry, they didn't have earnings. They just had their like sales numbers and some other numbers be released. It was not earnings. I apologize, misspoke. But yeah, Costco still performing good. Over 910, you're looking for continuation back into highs around 920, possibly 924. Favorite names right now, what I'm looking at. If you have questions, comment down below. See you guys tomorrow. Have a good one, traders.